This is our week to talk about COVID, and I want to set the stage for today's show in the first five by talking with you a little bit about what seems to be the mental atmosphere around COVID in our country, the feeling of fear, the culture of fear. And I will get into that in a moment, but first I want to ask Matt, the extremely wonderful producer, if he could put up, this is a slide that is telling you, it's a great visual about the death rate that is declining as we move through the time dealing with COVID. So you can see in the far left of that chart you're looking at, that is May, early May. It ends at the mid-July where we are today. And that is the death rate, the number of deaths per confirmed COVID-19 cases decreasing steadily, total deaths per total confirmed cases. So the death rate is declining. You wouldn't know this by the headlines you read, but because this information is not exciting, it's not tantalizing, it's not alarming, which is what the media seems to be always driving for. There's another set of data I want to ask you to look at very briefly in this first five, and this is information put out about the great state of Texas, which is where this show is done in Texas. And this is that data taken from the Texas's own Health and Human Services Department as they record for you, show you how we're doing in Texas dealing with COVID virus as compared with the flu season in the last 2 years. So here you go, Matt the Wonderful has this chart also. So this is a chart again, Texas Health and Human Services. We have nearly 30 million people in the great state of Texas. On the left-hand, essentially left-hand side, you're looking at the flu versus COVID-19 cases. You're seeing seasonal 2018, seasonal 2019 of the flu, and the far right column is COVID-19. I want you to just take a look at the difference in the death rates. 2018, this is Texas's own data. 2018, 2017 to 2018, that year, the number of deaths, sadly, I mean, every death is horrible, but the deaths due to the flu, nearly 12,000. 2019, over 10,000. In the flu season, COVID-19, 3,112. The bottom half of this chart is telling you rates, percentages. And again, look how high the recovery rate is in all of these instances. The flu 2018, the flu 2019, and COVID. You have over 99% recovery rate. And then look at the bottom row, the death numbers for all of this. And again, I don't mean to make light of any death. I'm very sorry for any loss of life due to disease or any other cause for that matter. But if you look at the bottom of this chart, death rates in 2018, the flu, 0.04. 2019, 0.03. COVID-19, where we are today, through July, which is where we are right now, 0.01. Point being, if it's not obvious to me as numbers, that the flu has been far more deadly in Texas in terms of both absolute numbers and in terms of percentages. So flu has caused more deaths in Texas. We have never in Texas engaged in the kind of conduct we are engaging at this time concerning things like requiring masks, requiring social distancing, shutting down the state, having a banning on non-essential travel, shutting down non-essential businesses. Non-essential, by the way, only to the government, not to the people who need those businesses in order to put food on their family's table. This has been an overreaction to I mean, no one is making light of coronavirus 19. I'm sorry it's here. I want us to get to the bottom of what happened in China. We've had experts on our show talking about China and what's going to be required to understand what really happened there. But in terms of a public health reaction to a threat, the numbers do not justify the conduct we've been watching happen in Texas. And I want to set the table about that, just to keep in mind the kind of background where we are on this. And because what we're going to do today is a little unusual for this show. I pretty much enjoy having medical experts and foreign policy experts and all sorts of people engaged in policy making. But I want today to do something a little bit different in my show, and that is I want to have us all sit and talk with, listen to individuals in Texas who have actually dealt with coronavirus, actually dealt with COVID-19, and the manner in which these people have been treated as they go to hospitals and maybe are not able to get access to the kind of care they know that they want. If you watched our show yesterday, you saw we had Dr. Richard Bartlett join us again yesterday. He'd been on the show 2 weeks earlier on Thursday, July 2nd, joined us yesterday along with Congressman Abraham to talk about the just fabulous efficacy of the use of a treatment for COVID-19 that is essentially a steroid, budesonide, used with a nebulizer. And both doctors in studio yesterday, Dr. Bartlett and Dr. Abraham, talked about their actual success on the ground using these treatments to help people with COVID-19. Talk a little bit about the resistance, the seeming resistance in the medical world, and especially in the U.S. government, to allowing these kinds of treatments that have been effective to be more widely known about, widely discussed, and perhaps more widely spread. So I wanted to do something different today. And wrapping up the first 5 for today, I wanted to bring some people in studio so you could meet them, as I'm going to really meet them today too, meet them and talk with them about their experience with COVID-19 in the great state of Texas. And that, my very fine friends, is today First 5.